On this week's episode, we talk about the little things.
Chick fight.
And other pop culture news of the week. So, if I told you...
You're back!
Oh yeah, I'm back! Yay. Look at us together!
It feels like forever, but
yeah.
we're back in our fancy studios.
It's the fanciest.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so yes, we're back. And to celebrate being back, we went on a date to a movie called The Little Things. And if you told me that we were going to go to a movie called The Little Things, I would think, oh, what a cute, wholesome...
I did tell you.
You did. You did, yes. And I first thought, like, oh, what a cute, wholesome, like, movie about, like, the little things in life. Or, like, you know, something warm and sunny and, you know. Nope. Because here's the cast. Denzel Washington, Rami Malek,
and Jared
Leto.
Yeah, it's
it is not cute.
Intense. Pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So HBO Max, one of those exclusives, like released for the first 30 days on HBO Max, and at the same time at the theaters, The Little Things with Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It's out in the theaters. It's out on HBO, and we did see it, and it was a bit different than I expected, but it was really good.
It was good, and I mean, well, those three actors.
Yeah.
I had high expectations, and all three of them lived up.
Yeah.
To those expectations. They delivered great performances. The only thing that disappointed me about the movie was that it's basically 7.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that was also a really good movie, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I always forget that. I just, like, jump in.
Yeah. So it was 7, but you don't know. Maybe you didn't see 7.
Maybe you didn't see 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so we meet...
Or maybe 7 was, the score. I don't know.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts with Denzel Washington, who's a sheriff of a small town in California, or sheriff deputy, I guess, and his boss tells him he's got to go down to LA to pick up some evidence that's crucial for, like, a hearing the next morning, and he's kind of dragging his feet, like, does it have to be me? Okay, fine, I'll go. So he goes, and he walks into this police department in LA, and it seems like everybody knows him, and
not only knows him, but hates him.
Yeah, like, oh, this guy's got a past. And so this is set against the backdrop of some... Oh, that's not even the beginning of the movie. I just skipped a big intro. Yeah. Oh, man,
yeah,
sorry.
The movie starts... I don't know how long ago was that. If there was...
The opening scene is contemporary with...
Is it?
Yeah, because remember they bring that girl in later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they bring her. That doesn't mean it was...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway. So this girl is
right.
driving... Because the music is very 80s. Anyways. This girl is driving home or driving somewhere in this interstate side kind of road. Like it's only her driving, and suddenly this car starts driving right behind her, and she brakes so he can pass her.
Yeah, he's like really aggressively tailgating her. So she kind of pulls, she lets him pass. But then, like, he stops.
He slows down and stop, and it's just like, oh, this guy is trouble. So she steps on the gas and tries to run away. Yeah, and so he ends up kind of, like, chasing her down this, like, country road, and she sees a bar, restaurant type thing, so she pulls over, runs up to the doors, like, screaming, help me, help me, help me. But, of course, the door's locked, and then we hear the guy get out of his car, so she's hiding, and there's this, like, hunting, kind of like hunter-prey thing where she's being hunted. She's trying to hide in the cornfields. We never see him.
Nope, just his boots, I guess, and his car.
But he did open the trunk and get some, duct tape and.
Oh yeah, the guy's obviously sinister. Yeah. And so finally a semi goes by, and so she runs out onto the highway, stops the semi, and that's the end of that scene. And then we cut to Denzel Washington being sent to LA to get this evidence.
Yeah. And there he meets some of old people, old friends, old acquaintances.
Yeah, colleagues.
And he also meets Rami Malek's character, which is this fancy, new, competent detective leading the investigations of serial killer.
Yeah, so young women are dying or being killed, and he's like having a press conference and all this stuff. And anyway, they eventually meet, and this young detective is kind of in awe of Denzel Washington and his character and his past, and so he kind of brings him along on the next. Anyway, right as all this is happening, they get a call to a crime scene, so he brings him along to the next one. We skipped a little bit, but
yeah,
he basically brings him in on the investigation.
Yeah, so they start to work together, and Denzel Washington, that used to be a big time detective, just like that new guy. Start clicking again on what's going on and what this guy did. So they go to a crime scene, and then he gets out of the building, go across the street to the building that has a window. In front of the window where the victim is, they start working, investigating, and he has skills.
Yeah, he's got skills and he's got insights. But as we start to see this side of him as a really gifted detective, he's also having flashbacks and conversations with some of the older colleagues that he meets that indicate like something bad went down, and that's why he left. That's why he left LA and kind of ran away to be a sheriff's deputy up north. And they don't really allude to what, but there was some kind of traumatic case involving a murder of young women and a crime scene and maybe a cover up. It's not really clear, but he's having flashbacks, and so these two things kind of go together. We see that he's brilliant, but we also see that maybe he's slightly unhinged. It comes out that like he lost his marriage, his kids don't really talk to him. He takes vacation days to stay and work this case, even though it's not really any of his business. So he's like really good, but like maybe a little bit too into it.
Yeah.
Anyway. And we see a similar thing in Rami Malek's characters. That's also being developed, that his drive and his obsession and his need to get this solved. But they share one thing in common, like they're really dedicated to the victims and trying to help these people and bring some peace and some closure. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, in contrast to Denzel Washington's character, they lost his family and all. They show Rami Malek happy with his family, his wife, and two little daughters, and yeah.
They're kind of like on two different ends.
Yeah, he's having he's successful. He both in family and in work, and he's he's doing what he wants, what he likes, and he's competent. And so comes this old guy that once was successful, start helping him, and yeah. So we've got Denzel Washington working one side of the case and Malek working the other side. So Denzel tracks down a list of suspects to hand over to the detective, and this is I thought this was a great scene. He walks into he figures out that the murderer is probably like an appliance like repairman type person. So he walks into the repair shop that the landlady had called, and he says, "Hey, I need your schedule, list of people who are working this day, blah blah blah." And as he walks out,
we see this guy start to listen with like kind of long, greasy, messed up hair. We see just like the back of his head turn. And then as he walks out, he like leans back and looks through the curtain. And that's when we see Jared Leto's face for the first time.
Why so serious? I don't know. That's different.
Yeah, different Joker. But definitely the same vibe.
Yeah.
Like you see his face, like, oh, well, he did it. Like there's your bad guy. So I thought it was a great way to bring Jared Leto onto the scene.
Yeah. And making this story short, she mentions that it was kind of Seven, and it is a lot kind of Seven. The old dog and the young pup working together, and they learn from each other. And there's some main difference from Seven, and basically. Well, first in Seven, we don't know who the criminal, the murderer is. In this one, and we have no idea. I mean, once he shows up, it's like, really, it's Kevin Spacey, and it's kind of a similar character to the usual suspects that like nobody would suspect was him. So, but in Seven, it was him. In this one, it's very different.
Yeah.
Because the guy just looks like, oh, this guy is the criminal. This guy is the murderer, and he's not.
Or is he?
I'm
pretty sure he's not.
For me, it was kind of ambiguous, but you said something that it was like it couldn't be him because.
Well, and that's what gets interesting. So these two detectives, well, one former, one current detective, lock in on this guy. That they're like, this has got to be our guy. It's got to be him, and but they can't prove it, and they're just this short of evidence. Like, it just seems like it has to be him, but they don't have anything to prove it. So they're having to get a little sketchy, a little outside the law. So Denzel Washington is like surveilling him. He breaks into his house and tries to find evidence, and he finds a whole bunch of creepy stuff, but like nothing conclusive. And he finds him like just hanging out at a crime scene. But, like, anybody could have known what that was if they had a police scanner. And Jared Leto's character has a police scanner. So, anyway, so finally at one point, Rami Malek is there at his house. And Jared Leto says, okay, you know what? I'll take you to her. I'll take you to where I buried the body. Get in my car. So he gets in the car, takes him out to the desert.
And that's why it's like, why? It's like, if he didn't do it, why he would do that? Why?
Well, they mention it in the film that this guy is like just obsessed with crime, and that's he's got the police scanner. He goes and hangs out at these old crime scenes. He's got collections of like newspaper clippings of crimes that he follows, and we find out at one point, like 8 years previous to this, he just walked into the precinct one day to confess to a murder that he didn't commit. Like, there's no way he could have committed. So. But still, there's the ambiguity. So he gets Rami Malek out into the desert, and he's got him like digging holes, and he digs for a while, and then he says, "Oh no, never mind, it's over here." So he has to keep digging, and slowly, like pushing this young detective to a breaking point.
When he hits him and kills him.
Yeah. So this bright young detective who's so dedicated to justice and the law and getting bad guys kills this guy.
And there's a parallel with Seven, young detective in the desert killing the bad guy, and then comes the old guy. And in Seven, there's nothing the old guy could do. He just deliver him to, he tries to get him out of the situation, but it's not possible. What's in the box? And then the red bitch shoots the guy and gets arrested. But on this one, the Denzel Washington's character, like he did before, and then we find out that something similar happened to him. He helped him cover up the situation. Mm-hmm. And then we find out that Denzel Washington, while investigating a case, a girl jumped in front of him and he shot her dead. Mm-hmm. And what? Oh, meanwhile, while they're investigating this specific crime, this last one, this lady in her apartment, mm-hmm. There's a runner, there's a jogger, a lady exercising in the streets of LA that disappears. And the family look for Rami Malek and talk to him. It disappears, and this green bread, she had it.
A red bread.
Red bread, yeah, not green. Red bread. They give details, and that's interesting because Denzel Washington helps Rami Malek's character get things covered up, and he leaves. And when he goes back home, he sends a red bread to Rami Malek, and he found among the Jared Leto's stuff that would prove, there would be an evidence that he killed this mm-hmm. lady, and it will be the killer.
So this gives Rami Malek peace of mind,
yeah,
I got the bad guy, and I was messed up, but I'm not a monster. It's okay. Justice was done.
Yeah. If anything, the peace of mind that Denzel Washington never had, because So he sent this thing, this symbol, for him to say, hey, you are the good guy. He was a bad guy. Mm-hmm. But then when Denzel Washington arrives home and he starts burning everything he got from Jared Leto apartment, we found a package of brand new breads mm-hmm. with the red one missing. Yeah. So it wasn't really, for me that was an interesting twist mm-hmm. because when he found it, I was like, okay, but then I was like, no, this is not gonna get bright. This is gonna stay dark.
It is, yeah. But it was kind of like Denzel was trying to give this young man a chance that he had never had. Denzel's mistake destroyed his life and his family and everything else, and so he was trying to.
And he's definitely going down that path, because when we see him, he's at home sitting by the pool, completely almost in catatonic state.
Yeah,
the little girl's talking to him, and he was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And when that comes, that little red bread gives him hope to move on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, what a great mystery box.
Yeah.
Did Jared Leto actually do it? There's no question that he's a creep in the movie, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great cast. The Little Things, it's open, it's on theaters everywhere, and it's on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw this movie on Amazon. Is it Amazon?
I think it was Amazon.
Yeah. Called Chick Fight,
mm-hmm.
which is a comedy about chicks that fight. I thought it would be a little bit more interesting, and it was okay. I liked it.
Yeah.
But
it's fun. It's light.
Yeah.
It has a couple of plot holes, but if you just need to burn off some steam,
that's the usual.
Mm-hmm.
It has some technical issues with color correction.
Oh yeah.
Doing some beach scenes.
Yeah.
We see green all over people's hair.
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure Alec Baldwin has not done blue hair before. Or green. I don't know.
Alec Baldwin,
mm-hmm.
Molly Akerman, I think that's her name.
Uh-huh.
Bella Thorne.
And Dulce Sloan.
What was that?
She's the best friend who gets her into
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know her. So
me neither. I had to look her up on IMDb, but she was a pretty important part of the movie.
And so, quick story.
Mm-hmm.
This cafe It's a cafe, right?
Yeah.
It's a cafe owner. She lost her cafe because of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And her friend takes her to basically a fight club.
Yeah, so Malin Akerman is the one who loses her cafe.
Yeah.
Dulce Sloan is the one who takes her to this fight club.
Take her to a fight club, and or woman go to blow up steam and fight, mm-hmm. Some sort of therapy. And yeah, it's like, first, like the fight club, your first time, you have to fight. So she fights, she get beat up. Mm-hmm. Beaten up by some other lady.
School librarian.
Yeah, and she keeps going. And as she goes, she finds out that the founder of the club... do they have a name for the club? They don't have a name for the club, right?
I don't remember.
The founder of the club is her mom that passed away a while ago with cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that becomes more meaningful for her because there's a family connection to it. And besides that, there's like some other jokes. Since her mother died, her father comes out gay and is having a relationship. Yeah. Anyways, so as this connection with the club increases, she decides, even though she's being beat up, she decides to stay. So and someone challenges her, and she says something about her mom or something like that, and it gets to her, and she's like, okay, I'll challenge you. So she has to fight this girl, which is probably the best they have. So she gets to be trained by Alec Baldwin. They trained Sugar Ray. There was a joke.
But which Sugar Ray?
There was a joke that everybody thought she trained Sugar Ray Leonard, the boxer, and she trained the band.
Yeah, just get him in shape for a tour.
And his training methods are very, very peculiar.
Yeah, and this is where it got kind of just weird. It's like imagine like who's the guy? I can't think of the guy now.
Rocky, Miyagi.
It'll come to me later. Anyway, yeah, it's all like on the beach. So she's like beating up watermelons and coconuts, and that's.
So he trains her, and then she will fight the other girl. She fights
Thorne.
Yeah, she fights the girl, and she wins.
Yep.
And then the police comes.
Yes.
Closes the place.
But she manages to open it again later.
Yeah.
Or get something else started. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a, metaphor for overcoming life's challenges and getting beaten down, but getting back up again.
Yeah.
Like boxing movies often are.
Yeah. And yeah. What else?
That's about it.
That's it. Yeah.
It was funny. It was heartwarming.
Very light. Short. Yeah. Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime Video. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. There was a superb owl this week.
Yeah, this last weekend we had the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 55.
KC Chiefs versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Yep, and Tom Brady and his boy Gronkowski won.
Oh yeah, it was the game itself was like, okay,
it was honestly the last few Super Bowls have been boring.
It was walk in the park.
Yeah.
The last one was a little bit more challenging.
I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, Brady won, or like they say in Brazil, Giselle's husband. But commercials, ads, what we had some pretty fun and funny ones.
There were. Just a note though, the viewership for Super Bowl 55 wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of things.
96.4 million.
I don't know. I don't know the details on the measurements, but these kind of things gonna go lower and lower because streaming services. including streaming services to watch these kind of things. So I don't know if the Nielsen numbers are specifically on this case specifically for broadcast TV, or if they including the streaming services.
Platforms. Fair enough. But anyway, like you were saying, the ads. Where do you want to start with the ads?
There was the movies. Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about the movies. We had new ads for the Fast and Furious, F9.
Yeah. They were fast. They were furious.
And they're coming out next summer. Not this summer. Next summer. Oof. Because of COVID. We had Bob Odenkirk as an accountant. He's basically nobody.
Or is he? So the film is called Nobody, and it's from one of the John Wick producers, or directors, or anyway, somebody involved with John Wick is involved with this one.
Someone that was
from those people. So Bob Odenkirk plays this dad who's like an accountant and seems really boring, but then like something happens and unleashes this like dark beast inside of him, and then we find out he's got this past, and there's guns and action, and he shoves his family into a panic room and just Joe call 911.
Yeah.
And other things.
It looks fun. It definitely looks fun.
It does. Yeah. There are a few times in the trailer where I thought, man, this is dark. And then other moments where like, this is stupid and funny. And so if they took me on that journey in 2 minutes, who knows what the film's going to do. Anyway.
Yeah. We also seen a teaser trailer, call it what you want, for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And yeah, it definitely shows a lot, since we didn't see much of this show, which is coming soon. It's coming in March. Yeah. As soon as WandaVision ends, comes Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
So clever about
the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, it's the other way around. It is. It seems like they go with the therapy together. It doesn't seem like they're getting along, which I thought it was like a joke that they were done with, everything that happened in the movies. But the MCU, the jokes never end. So yeah. Any other movie did you see?
Yeah, a new Shyamalan film.
Oh,
yeah. Old. Classic Shyamalan.
Wait, is it a new movie or is it an old movie?
Yes. So the film is called Old, and this cute group of families goes to a beach, and they're all having a good time, and then all of a sudden the kids are like aging super fast.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then at some point someone says, there's something wrong with this beach. No, duh, your 6-year-old is 30 now. So
yeah,
we'll see what's up with that.
It's weird and scary.
Yeah. Like we said, it's a Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. Any other movie?
I don't think so. Those are the big ones.
Paramount Plus, the subscription service that used to be, still is called CBS All Access, had a series of ads where their cast climbs Paramount Mountain or talk about their stories, whatever. It's like, the story's all here to be relived and retold. It's like, and they talk to the great Patrick Stewart that is there.
And Stephen Colbert's tending bar.
Yeah. And we have glimpses of all the shows, including new shows like the Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So we already talked about. Yeah. Any more movies, TV?
I really can't remember.
Okay.
The Snyder Cut had a little teaser.
Yes. It's just Victor Stone, Cyborg, Ray Fisher's character, hitting a touchdown right by the end line of the red zone.
End zone.
Huh?
The end zone. It's called the end zone.
But it's red.
Sometimes. Depends on who's playing.
Don't they call red zone?
No.
Pretty sure they do.
Well, it's the end zone.
So he hits the ball right by the red zone. And Black Snyder Cut. Which, by the way, on Valentine's Day, this February 14, is going to be released the trailer for the Snyder Cut. It has a date to be released, so this one is, like starting of the countdown.
Yeah.
And with all that, before we're going to go back to the Super Bowl, but footage, not footage, a little bit of footage too, but images from the movie are being shown, like the Joker, Jared Leto, completely different than the Suicide Squad version.
Yeah.
Superman fighting the bad guys, and bad guys beating the crap out of some good guys. Yeah.
Everything just looks wonderful, I think.
It's great. It's going to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we only, just for understanding, we only actually saw 30 minutes of those 4 hours. The Justice League Joss Whedon version only had 30 minutes of Snyder footage. Everything else was reshot by Joss Whedon. So, yeah, there's a lot. And, to be shown. And the story develops in, different ways. We'll see.
Okay. I'm so excited.
But, February 14, Snyder Cut trailers out there.
Yes.
Just finishing with Super Bowl, some funny ones. The Josh Costanza, Jason Alexander one was what was that for?
Tide.
Oh, it's Tide.
Yeah. This teenager's got a George Costanza. No. Jason Alexander hoodie, and it's just the face on a hoodie, but he wears it like all the time, so it's getting all kinds of abuse.
Yeah.
And
to the point that he's walking down the street and Jason himself seems like, "That's my face."
You can't wear that face. I want it back. Yeah, he doesn't get it back.
It's great.
But it does get cleaned with Tide. Yeah. So it's that. Anyway, but the great thing was it was kind of like a deep cut
Tide delivered.
Seinfeld reference.
Tide delivered because the last couple of years they had some pretty good ones.
They did. They had the whole "It's Tide" ad.
Yeah.
That might be like my top 3 favorite.
He would pop everywhere, even in all the ads.
Yeah, it's a Tide ad. Remember what I did with your lunch the next day? Yeah.
What are you saying?
Good times.
The George, there's something with Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, the song it's kind of like a deep Seinfeld reference. It's like this one episode we hear George's
oh, that's
his answer machine. It's like, believe it or not, I'm walking on it or whatever. And anyway, so that's the song through the whole thing. So great, well done, Tide. Well done.
No, it was good.
Yep. What else had Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, Flat Matt.
Yeah.
That was weird, but that was funny.
It was. Yeah. He was like 2-dimensional moving through life. Until he ate 3D Doritos.
Yes. 3D Doritos.
Yeah, so that was a fun blast to my childhood, the first time they did 3D Doritos.
Oh, it's not the first time? Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited to eat them because, like, my mom wouldn't buy them. She was really not into buying us junk food because it was expensive and bad for us. So this time, like,
I'm curious on how it tastes because, it's very flat. But, yeah.
Well,
I want it's going to be like Cheetos.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because if it is, it's very different. They shouldn't. Anyways. Any other funny, interesting one?
Bud Light did a great reference, like a big callback.
Yeah.
Commercial.
To all of them.
Mm-hmm.
To all of the past ads from the past year.
Yep. Or years, like decades.
Years, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, that was fun. So, yeah, there we go. Super Bowl.
Yeah, so those were the ads.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the highlights of the ads on Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some more news we have. The Oscars gonna be broadcast from several different places, including Kodak Theater in LA, by the it's like almost next door to the Chinese theater, by the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And yeah.
But also, it won't be until April 25th, And they've extended like the
window.
The window, yeah, for eligible films because of COVID. They've like given more time.
Yeah, it's gonna be super weird because, even if the window extended, it's tough for streaming. It's like the rules they changing. Then it's like So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, CBS has a new Silence of the Lambs sequel series called Clarice, but they've got like a little.
Isn't it Clarice?
No, it's Clarice.
Is it Clarice?
Yeah.
Clarice Starling, not Clarice.
It's Clarice.
Okay.
Clarice making a touchdown in the end zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so Clarice in the red zone.
Yeah.
Clarice or Clarice cannot mention Hannibal by name. Because the copyrights, the trademarks are split by several different companies. It's a mess.
Yeah.
The Thomas Harris character, Hannibal Lecter, cannot be mentioned. Even though the cast and the crew, producers guarantee that the show they can mention Buffalo Bill, but and also gonna have a lot of other Easter eggs and references that are gonna make people like yeah.
Such a creepy movie.
With not only with the movies, they've been successful doing shows. They did one Hannibal with the great Mads Mikkelsen, and yeah, maybe this one will be good too. We'll see. No. I have no idea if it's a prequel, sequel, what in the timeline it is, but yeah, it has potential. The source material is really good.
Yeah, it is. Okay, speaking of good source material, The Last of Us is being turned into a series by HBO.
Yes.
And they announced...
By Greg Mason, the same one behind Chernobyl.
Yes! Oh, I forgot it was him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he also got his contract extended with HBO. They announced the cast, right?
Yeah, or a couple of the key... Well,
I mean, technically, it's Last of Us.
Basically, yeah.
Last of Us, Last. It's 2, and we haven't made 2.
So Joel and Elle, oh no, what was her name? Elle. Yeah.
And it's kind of it's not bad, but it's I don't know. They're gonna have to do some work. I mean, not really, because Pedro Pascal was cast as Joel. And he basically was Joel on The Mandalorian. He was taking care of a kid with a very special, very important role to be developed in that universe. And if you play the game, Elle has this very important role, a special part on that universe.
Yeah.
And first she's like very, very cynical about it. It's like... I don't want a girl and blah 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 blah. But at the end, he developed this attachment to her, this bond, this love that, if you know the end, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so yeah. If anything, his cast was like everybody's casting him for everything good for him. He's a good actor. He's talented. But I don't know, playing easy, playing safe, maybe.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose, but I can't be mad about it.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, a good actor, and he'll do fine in the role. Like you said, like we know he'll do well because he's already done it.
Yeah. The girl is a little bit more complex, I think.
Yeah. So for this one, they've cast Bella Ramsey, who we know from Game of Thrones as young...
She's a Ramsey? Or she's a Mormont?
Young Lady Mormont, yes.
Fun fact, there was one Instagram, one website of a nerd pop culture out there that wrote that she was the house Mormon.
Nope. No. Mormont.
It was not a small one. It was a kind of a big one, but they, I guess, misspelled. It was like autocorrect.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyways, she's been cast as as Elle.
And she was terrific on Game of Thrones, by all means. She was like strong and tough.
Yeah.
Very adult. And Elle is the opposite. So
acting. That's
why I hope that she has the range necessary. She was in the second season of His Dark Materials, so we're gonna have to see that to see if she shows that range. So hopefully she does, and hopefully we'll be okay.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah. I mean, HBO, they wouldn't, they rarely miss. So, yeah.
And Craig Mazin, I trust Craig Mazin.
The Last of Us will be out soon once they start shooting. Once I don't know, COVID is gonna.
They actually make it.
Maybe they're gonna actually use the mutation of COVID to make it a real live show.
No.
Yeah. Since the show and the game is about a virus.
Yeah. Ooh, that's depressing.
Start making people into zombies. Yeah. You know the Oxford this vaccine does nothing, does crap to the South African variation of the virus.
Really?
Yeah,
that's disappointing.
It sucks. Anyways, moving on.
Thanks for that. Well, while we're on bright and happy news, Gina Carano is the most recent to succumb to cancel culture. And
it was dumb. It was dumb. First of all.
So many reasons.
It's a bias and a hypocrisy, because for 6 years they called for once. For an example, they called Trump Hitler, and it's the probably the worst, one of the worst things we have in history. Hitler, and they compare to him. It's it's like stretching, and she was fired for allegedly comparing the situation to Nazi Germany and the Holocaust and the Jew situation. So another stretch, but everybody else didn't get anything.
There's been a few other controversial posts she's made on social media, but nothing terribly.
It's
nothing
her opinion,
terrible.
and
it's
she's
just pretty
entitled to it. Yes, and this witch hunt is going on, and actually there's some investigations going on, and there's some claims that Disney wanted to get rid of her back. When she said something on the first time back in November, but I guess they used this because the Holocaust is something so big. It was like, this we crossed the line. But again, hypocrisy. Like even Pedro Pascal did a post where he has Holocaust kids, and they have kids by the border, the whole illegal immigrant situation, and his comparison wasn't considered
controversial,
tasteless, or whatever they call it. So it's if anything, which I think is point on is what she said about this is becoming like Nazi Germany, whatever. What they did to her make her what she said, prove her point. Yeah.
Yeah. It really bugs me when people do. Well, we can get into that, but I think there's a whole other level to this hypocrisy that this is Disney canceling Gina Carano. Disney and like because they just filmed a major movie in Xinjiang province in China, in a Uyghur majority city. And like in a place where there are concentration camps and where people are being like systematically like executed and wiped out, and like so Disney is like participating in / like turning a blind eye on all kinds of horrible things. And was it tasteless to say that conservatives are being treated like Jews in Nazi Germany? Yeah, probably. That wasn't a smart thing to say, but it's not the worst thing in the. I don't know. It's just so hypocritical. And the fact that like people like James Gunn get like fired and then rehired and everything, like if they're still gonna hire him, then why can't why does she get?
Yeah. Whedon is getting like into a hot water for so much, and you know.
Yeah, he's dealing with a lot of allegations, but he's fine.
Yeah, and you see other examples of that. You know how they made a movie about what's his bucket from Fox News, the big guy from Fox News you saw on Bombshell. You can't remember his name.
Yep.
I can't remember his name. The big head of Fox News.
Murdoch?
No, Murdoch is the owner. Used to be the owner.
Yeah, okay. But John Lithgow, the guy that John Lithgow played. I don't remember.
So they made a movie, like an expose kind of movie on him. You know who we're never gonna see a movie made about?
Weinstein.
You know, because he still has power there, because he still represents that side, and they don't wanna show weaknesses. They don't want to show flaw on that side, even though that they purged him from their midst. So it's sad. It's like the fact that she lost her job. Of course, after what you said, what they did to China and other things they do, it is hypocritical, but. It's like it's the law of, you can't speak. What's it called? Like when you.
Like a gag order, censorship.
Gag law, unscripted laws that you can, and the fact that this massive, press, and it was big. It's still going on, towards her. Because of that, it's like it just proved a point.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
And there's so many people doing and saying such worse things.
Yeah, and it's more ridiculous than the witch hunt, the blacklist back when they hunt communists in Hollywood back in the day, because back then it was like.
You know what? That might have been a more apt comparison. McCarthyism.
Sure. But these times are worse because back then I was like, you're a communist and boom, you banned, you blacklisted. But now it's like false moralism towards, like, if someone says something is the worst, but if someone else says, oh, it's fine, there's freedom of speech. Yeah. So it's terrible. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully she will overcome this, and hopefully we'll get better times in America where people can say what they want to say, and if they misinterpreted, they might be able to explain, apologize if necessary. I'm not saying she should, but will not be. You will not have their reputations destroyed.
You can just dislike somebody.
By the mob and the tech overlords. Anyways.
All right. Lighter notes. How are the Tenderloins doing?
Oh, they're doing excellently.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they got the new season out, the 9th season, and they got the early renew for 10th season. Well deserved, because those guys work hard. Yeah. By humiliating themselves.
They suffer.
Yeah.
They suffer for everything they've gained. Yeah.
And they signed a first look deal with Warner Brothers. So
yeah. So more Impractical Joker, Tenderloin type content.
Yeah.
To come. Mm-hmm. And they have another. So they have two shows now. They've got Misery Index and Impractical Jokers. They have their tours.
Technically, they have the tours of cruises. But I mean, I don't know if they're doing cruises because COVID. Yeah. But technically, they have this. I don't know if it's. I mean, it's part of Impractical Jokers, but one that they eat together. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah. I saw one.
Yeah.
Episode. Okay.
Yeah. So they're doing well.
Yeah.
And helping TBS, because is it TBS? No, it's
True TV.
True TV.
Yeah.
Because
they are basically everything.
Flagship, yeah.
That's yeah. All right. One last note. Redwall, the beloved series of, like, epic, enormous series of books written by Brian Jacques, is getting a film and an animated series from Netflix. So they've got one of the directors from Over the Garden Wall is working on it. It looks like 2022 maybe. But either way, I and many other devoted Redwall fans are so excited about this.
Devoted or devoted?
Devoted.
Yeah?
Yes, someone who is devoted can be described as devout. Although devout is usually refers to, like, religious devotion. Okay. Either way, I'm totally pumped because there was another animated series for Redwall that's happened before. This one looks like it's going to focus on Martin the Warrior, maybe. I don't know. It's just going to be.
There was another one. How was the other one?
It was fine. It wasn't, like, the most sophisticated animation, but it was nice. It was kind of more like a PBS BBC type thing, and so I think with Netflix we'll get something a little bit more. We'll get something more. I think it'll be better. A little more developed, higher production value and all that.
Cool.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess that's it for this week. We don't know what we're gonna watch next week. We're definitely gonna watch something. We gonna be still around if the big tech bros don't delete us because we speak truths.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, careful. Yeah. You're getting a little conspiracy theorist there.
I don't know. That's the problem with all that. It affects not only big people. Some people claim that. One time I tried to post something that was a joke.
That's right. That's
Instagram
joke.
said it was like, "Oh, this is not true." It's like, yeah, it's not true. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Yeah. So hopefully this will get better. Meanwhile, take care out there. COVID is still flying around. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we'll see you next week when we're going to see probably something Valentine-y.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. That's it. And see you next week. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.